all of you, co-parenting with exes is a very big part of your lives. It seems like it's a big part of this season. Maci, Cheyenne, I know you have Taylor and Zach to support you throughout these processes, but I'm curious how much the moms lean on each other too for advice on how to handle some of these sometimes complicated relationships.
I would I would say honestly a lot, like especially when we're all together, like in person.
Mm-hmm.
We have similar situations, but also very, very different situations. And just hearing like a fresh perspective and someone that's not directly involved that can give you a different point of view. It definitely helps. But I think outside of that, it's really just humor.
Mm.
Just being able to like talk shit about it sometimes helps a lot.
Cheyenne, did you want to add anything?
I think what Maci said about when we're together, there's a lot of back and forth, sharing things. And it helps to talk to somebody who's not technically involved in it and has a different perspective. I've had a lot of talks with Maci about co-parenting and family dynamics and her dynamics with Ryan's parents and, things that I've done on my side. And it helps a lot. So I would say we definitely have a strong bond and an open dialogue.
And, Maci, obviously, this season starts with you and Ryan in a much better place. We'll kind of see how it unfolds as it goes. But how has it been recently? Was the reunion really a turning point? And how has it been kind of navigating some of the more recent issues as well? Because I know you supported him at his recent court hearing also.
Yeah, it definitely started at the reunion. And us just being able to, I think time definitely helped. But us being able to genuinely have a conversation and, make commitments to each other as far as what our role is to, make a better relationship and really start a relationship, because we hadn't had one in so long. We really just did with his parents. And obviously with all the crap that went down and him being in jail now, we're still in a good place and actually speak to each other very consistently and often. It's just obviously different now because it's not in person and he's not, out here in the real world. But we're still on going in a good direction.
Yeah. And for Taylor, I've seen the first episode of the new season. You do kind of express some of your initial skepticism about, Ryan coming back into the picture, into their lives. Just how are we going to see that kind of evolve over time? Or are you still kind of in the same mindset?
No, you'll see it evolve. I don't know. In my opinion, there's like a fine line between trying to protect Bentley and not get in the way of him having a relationship with his father. So just find that balance and I don't know. It's tough.
Oh, I'm sure. And it all being on TV is just, I'm sure, another added layer of what the, one more just for Maci real quick is I know you also, you started attending Al-Anon meetings. Just how has that benefited you and the family?
That's a game changer. Yeah. It's way different than what I expected it to be. It is nothing like that. It's very healing, and it's so much more about yourself rather than the addict.
Yeah.
And I see that just it's such a safe space to kind of look yourself in the mirror and work on yourself. And I think that it just overall, it just kind of helps every relationship you have after that.
No, and I think people, especially watching, I think will be happy to see you speaking out about it and just offering that support. So, and then for, Cheyenne and Zach, obviously you guys have always been pretty close, civil with Cory. Just how hard was it for you to see everything he's been going through recently with Maya? And then how were you able to kind of step in and show some support?
I think for as long as I've known Cory now, this past season was like the roughest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Whole demeanor changed, his personality, his energy when he walked in. And Zach and I were like worried. It was hard to watch, and you couldn't ignore it. So we had to constantly check in and ask like direct questions about like his mental health. And it was really tough to see him and Taylor go through such a rough period. I think we're going to see a lot of it on this season. And I feel like even going back to watch it, even for himself, I feel like it's going to be hard for him to see himself in such a negative place.
Yeah.
But luckily, we all know that she's dead now, and there's a happy.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was tough.
And, I know fans have always kind of praised you for being such good co-parents. I know you just posted that clip of Ryder from your podcast the other day of her just praising Taylor's food. And, everyone loves seeing how well you all get along. But just how does it feel to know that you are setting such a great example for something that can be tricky to navigate?
Someone wrote me the other day and it really stuck with me. And they were like, as hard as co-parenting can be and as hard as sharing can be, you really showed like the positive side to it. And then I was like, okay, this is why I do it. When can gravitate towards and and find like points to relate to and say like, okay, let me take this into my own co-parenting situation. It makes me feel like I'm doing this and showing it for a reason. I do it for my kids, but
yeah,
it comes across genuine because it truly is genuine. A lot of people ask us like, is it the same way off the camera that it is on the camera? And it is. We still shoot the shit together. Arguing, like all the same things happen. And I think that that's the best part about it.
Yeah. And then this is something for all of you, but when you are dealing with something that is kind of tricky, whether it is health concerns or legal concerns, how do you find the way to best address it with your kid? And it is something that involves two families, not just kind of your inner circle.
I think for us with Bentley being older and unfortunately this not being, the first time that something, Bentley and I have always had an extremely close relationship, but also a very open and honest relationship. So for us, I think just, being straightforward and, here's what's going on, A, B, C. And then really just making sure that Bentley knows that we're there for him. And, if he needs anything or has questions or wants to, talk about how to deal with something, that, just being there to support him through it. And honestly, therapy for him definitely helps.
Yeah.
Making sure that, he knows that he can text or call or FaceTime his therapist anytime that he needs to. Mm-hmm. Giving him that extra person that knows what they're doing professionally is also a big difference maker, I would say.
All right. Well, I am getting the wrap. So thank you all four of you for your time today. It's always a pleasure, and we are big fans over here. So have a good one.
Thank you.